Hey everybody, welcome back to Sinking City. I know Loose 32 last we left off, that guy's son apparently went crazy, and, basically beat someone to death. But he was also shot, and he leapt out through there. Let's see. Ah, the Omen. What do we have here? Um, After I played this, I realized, the hell is that? What the hell is that? Oh my god! Right. I realized I had started playing on the wrong profile on my PS4, so I started over. Didn't really do much different, I don't think. Skipped most of the dialogue, but that's about it. Something ate most of this shark. But right back to what I was doing. What do we have here? Shell casing.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
Apparently he went this way. At a leisurely pace for some reason. Hello?
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Possibly because he's like a monkey man, as we've already established. I know this is a little off track, but, you know. Item scrounging and what have you. What you praying about,
Join
ma'am?
in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us.
Okie dokie. You're great, see? Really, really awesome. Please don't send things to eat my face. Amen. And remember, it's filled with man-eating eels. An odd choice. I looked up some reviews about this game. It's not looking too good. Though they did say that if you like Lovecraft, you might enjoy the game, and I happen to really like Lovecraft. So it might not be a total bust. Unfortunately, it was made by Frogware Games. They made the Sherlock Holmes games, including that one where Watson has no walking animation, so instead he just teleports behind you when you're not looking. of handprints here. Why is this? Hello. Bloodstained note. Lewis, please just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuzz snooping around the port. But don't worry, I've struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest. Peter. Interesting.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
I'm gonna guess it doesn't belong to the fish guy. The Innsmouther. But yeah, the Frogware games were notorious for being... Ugh. They weren't all bad. Especially the later ones. And there was actually a game where, I think it was like Sherlock Holmes The Awakening, where you were tasked to basically stop the awakening of Cthulhu. I know how to deal with padlocks, thank you. Meh.
The door won't budge.
Oh dear. Robert.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Oh, whoa, whoa, easy, champ. What the hell is that? No, 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 keep away, keep away. Probably should have tried beating it to death. Save bullets, you know. Alright. Wrong crime scene. Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Thorgmonton rather than just drive him off. Oops. Wasn't done. Lewis the Innsmouther that killed Martin that may be hiding at the bar in Oakmont Port. where was the fatal shot delivered? Blow like that should leave more blood behind, don't you think? Should I go right for the bar, or... Oh, for a second, I thought something was coming at me. But 'twas just the wind. Sorry to pause it real quick. Be right. Okay, sorry about that. What was I doing? Oh yeah, tracking down that fish dude. Ah, here we are. Under the keel. Anything here? How's it going, mate?
Yeah. Hey, spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
Perhaps I shouldn't be laughing at that. Let's see. Looking for an insmither. Oh, that's gonna go well. No. Nope. Nada. Howdy.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Throck. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him, once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
I don't give a shit about the unsettling creatures. Well, I do give a shit about them. I just don't care to ask about them. Alright.
Who are you?
Oh,
What are
good
you
God.
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Why do you look like that?
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us.
And that is
After that,
the
can't remember
best
a thing.
depiction of a Innsmouth of the Innsmouth look I have ever seen in my life. I love it.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh?
Aren't you?
That's a lot.
Technically?
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos
Oh, like you're not?
called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
What happened to the Blackwoods?
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
Son of a bitch.
I won't tell him. Everyone seems to agree there's been an outbreak of madness around these parts. I'm inclined to believe you fell victim to it too. Plus, it seems heartless to tear apart a family after what you've been through already.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Reed. Thank you.
That said, the port's still closed. What will you do?
Hide here, I guess. Don't have a choice. The streets are flooded with police.
I'll make something up to tell Throgmorton. Leave as soon as you can.
Thank you again, sir. I won't forget this.
course, now the bartender's gonna be pissed at me, but what are you gonna do? Lewis was aware of what he was doing during the fight with Dagon. Ah. Lewis was under mental influence. Lewis killed Albert Throckmorton while under some sort of mental influence. He couldn't control his actions and thus can't be blamed for Albert's death. I could try and cover for him, or else Robert Throckmorton will have his head. And I can change my mind. Lewis deliberately murdered Albert. Psychic influence or not, Lewis was out to murder Albert Thornton. He had a motive, too. The mutual hatred between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. I must tell Robert Thornton the truth and bring the murderer to justice. Question is, what do I do? I ain't normally the type to feel sorry for an Innsmouther. Especially considering, you know, dark corners of the earth. But at the same time, he seems pretty genuine about it. It's funny, with Innsmouth gone, I guess they're a lot more, they've become a lot more human in their mannerisms. I mean, kind of safe to say that Dagon's abandoned them. What do I say? What do I say? I'm really thinking about this. Excuse the silence and inactivity. Bullet to the head's gonna make it very difficult for me to just say it was one of the creatures. What if I tried to pin it on Barry? Nah, Barry's the one standing out right outside, isn't he? I was trying to figure out, thinking about somebody who might have been missing, but no. The easiest thing to do would be just to rat on Lewis, but moral dilemmas, moral dilemmas, moral dilemmas. Alright. There's an easy way to do this. And free myself from any moral obligations. Heads I rat on them, tails I don't. I don't.
Mr. Throg,
What?
some...
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those
Sorry,
unsettled
I shouldn't have skipped.
appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible, and when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Well, I guess I have to say
Mr.
it anyway.
Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
I tracked the murderer down, but he was attacked by those things prowling the back alleys. And they tore him apart. It was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis. He was covered in your son's blood. That may have attracted the beasts.
Are you certain the body is his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and this scrap of cloth. It's from his jacket. He must ask his friends.
Alas, this was my revenge to exact, not some wild beast's. Something must be done about those pests. Still, justice has been served. This isn't closure, but at least I know now the story. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Gay to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't.
I can see this going badly.
Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
Like he's gonna find out about Lewis.
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster.
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture. A sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly.
Wow.
She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
I have his will. Why don't I give it to
Do
him?
you think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
I'm not interested in payment.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed.
Oof.
You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your
Well, now I
work.
feel kind of guilty for,
I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering.
Oh, now I get it.
More than bills.
Spare bullet. Okay. That's what that guy was talking about. Let's go back to the lifeboat. Maybe my senses, now that I know a little more, can pick up on what anything else that might have happened. No, apparently not. So I have two guns, but they don't seem to be very potent ones. What the hell is that? I'm almost tempted to kill it so I can get a better look at it, but that feels wrong. That's just the sort of person I am, folks. How many legs does it have? Can I look at my pictures? Robert Throgmorton funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria gripping Oakmont. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Albert Throgmorton was the only known survivor. He was subsequently murdered. I was hired to find any other expedition members, dead or alive. Throgmorton will be waiting for my report in his manor in South Old Grove. Robert Throgmorton gave me a key to the expedition headquarters. It's in northern Coverside at the crossroads of Asher Road and Hubbard Avenue. Well, shit, I don't know. God, that is weird. Pistol, an Army issue Bolt M11, easy to handle and to carry concealed. A privatized weapon of choice. Uses 38mm pistol rounds. A trusty six-shooter, Bolt Model D, nicknamed the Widowmaker. Uses powerful 40 cartridges. First aid kit. Antipsychotics. Ignore the side effects list. Oh dear. Oh, so I have enough or something. Gotta say that sounds good. A lot of this sounds really good. The other stuff, not so much. Okay, that sounds pretty good too. Private Eye the Sailor. I'm not very good at that. Okay, I think I'll call it a video here. I'm the Blues 32. This is Sinking City. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.